So we anticipated price at the resistance zone. So what we'll be looking for at a resistance zone is bearish pin bar. And how can we identify our bearish pin bar? I already said the bearish pin bar is the opposite of the bullish pin bar. So you are anticipating a bearish pin bar at a resistance zone. This is a resistance zone. We can see, like, currently the kind of candlestick pattern we are seeing here. This is a bearish engulfing candle. This is more of like a bearish engulfing too. But we can't identify a bearish pin bar here. But there is a gravestone doji, a gravestone candlestick pattern here. This is a gravestone. This is a gravestone. The gravestone is always like this. It's mostly like this. And even this gave like two candlestick patterns of a gravestone. You can see what happened when we saw a gravestone here. We started seeing candlestick pattern that causes reversal of these current zones. And where is this place heading to as well? It went back to the support. It came back to the support. The support held, and we are heading back to what? To the resistance. So these are how you can incorporate candlestick pattern of gravestone. You know, gravestone, we are using gravestone at a resistance. Dragonfly, we are using dragonfly at a support zone. Bullish pin bar is at a support zone. Bearish pin bar will always be at a resistance. We are using this candlestick pattern to confirm our potential trade in the market, to signify, to identify or signify that, okay, there is a possible exhaustion in the market, that the price is not ready to push up more. The price is ready to reject this certain level, this certain zone.
All right. Can someone tell us the meaning of support zones in the market and the meaning of resistance zones in the market? Can someone, because we are here to treat support and resistance, but do we have anyone in the class who has an idea of what support and resistance is all about?
I would say like support is like a base, and the resistance is where the top of the market. That's like up and down of the market.
All right. Thank you. So resistance, just like what our sister said, resistance is just like the roof of your building. Now, when you sit down inside your house, you have a roof above you. So that your ceiling, your POP, that is the highest point above you. So you have your floor. The floor you are standing on, or the ground. So the ground is holding your weight. So if you live in 3-story building or 2-story building or 4, 5, 6, if you want to go to the next floor, you go through the staircase, and when you get to the next floor, then the previous floor you are standing will be under you. So the top above you is your resistance. You see yourself as the price. See yourself as the price moving up and down in that building. So the floor under you is a support. The floor above you is the resistance. You, the individual, you see yourself as price. So that is just an example of what we have right here. So whenever a level is above the price, it's resistance. And whenever a level is below the price, you see it as support. So when you descend from the floor you are to another floor, the floor you go down, once you go through the down stair, the floor you were standing before will become a new level above you, which is resistance. Which means once you ascend above a level, that level which is a resistance turns into a new support to hold the weight. And when you descend from the support down, the support will turn into resistance because the level will now be above you. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, let's go on. Yes. Yes, you have not support resistance. So let's go on. Because the reason why we have to explain that is because we are here to do support and resistance. But some of you might be wondering what is support, what is resistance. So the reason why we are making mention of support resistance is because these candlesticks they are more reliable when they form at that support resistance. So that is the reason we are here the tutor saying support resistance, because these are the zones you should look at for this level. So before we go into this level, you need to know what you want to look out for at that level. So that's why we need to treat candlestick first. Once we now understand candlestick, then we can now go to those levels to see how we can draw them, how we can identify them, and how we can blend the candlestick with that level when they form. Let's go on.
Okay. So so now let's continue with our candlestick patterns. So I've talked about the dragonfly, the gravestone, the bullish pin bar, and the bearish pin bar.
Can I, sir, sorry, can I ask a question before you proceed?
Okay, sir.
I want to ask a question. Assuming we have this dragonfly
Okay.
at the support, it implies it indicates the selling that the buyers are already in the market. I want to ask, is it necessary to wait the next candle to form because as you all know that dojis is symbolizing indecision in the market? Is it necessary to wait for the next candle to
There
form, or
is
we can take our decision
there is
immediately after
Are you done, sir?
the yes, I'm done. Hope you have gotten my question.
Okay. So what you are trying to indicate is a doji. A doji is different from a dragonfly candlestick pattern. A doji signifies indecision, like it's always like this. I'm trying to draw.
Hang on.
So can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Can you see?
Yes.
Let me. I'm not doing it. Let me try and do it very well so you can see. A doji is always just is mostly like a plus sign. So and if you see a doji, especially in this kind of resistance, it's showing indecision in the market. But the dragonfly at a support, it's a clear indication that the buyers are ready to push the price up on that particular support zone. While a doji is like an indecision candle, both the buyers and sellers cannot win that particular candle. So that's why a doji is always like a plus sign at the middle. Both the buyers and the sellers, they are not able to take control of that particular candle. Do you get that, sir?
Yes, yes.
You remember I told you in the last class, I said whenever you see doji, it's an indecision. Don't do anything. Exercise patience and wait for the next candlestick to show you which direction it will go. That was what we discussed in the last class. Have we forgotten? I said when you see a doji, the next candlestick, once it's closed, that is what will tell you what to do. Maybe to still wait, or maybe it's breaking up or breaking down.
Do you not get that, sir?
Yes.
You have any further questions? Do anyone have any other question?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
Now let's continue. So we've treated gravestone, dragonfly, bullish pin bar, bearish pin bar, the spinning candlestick bottom, and high wave volume.
Sorry, I have a question. I can hear the voice of a female student in the class. Please, I would like to know, is this your first time in the class? Today is your first time?
It's not a female. I'm a male, a man. That's how my voice is.
Your voice is like a female.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, let's go on.
Okay.
All right.
Now let's try identify an high wave. So an high wave candlestick pattern. So one thing you have to have in mind is an high wave candlestick pattern is always an obvious candlestick whereby a big volume or manipulation or any kind of thing happen on a particular candle. So it is mostly like this.
So those type of candlestick, you can see them during high volatile news. So don't worry for now, we are still going to talk about the news. But for now, don't worry. So it's a movement whereby there's an aggressive movement in the market, whereby no decision is yet made. It's a great battle. Just like if there's a battle going on within two states, let's say there's a battle going on within two states in Nigeria, you can't compare such battles like battles going within countries and countries. Let's say there's a country between United States and Russia. You can't compare such battle to a battle within town to town. Okay, so that is what the high wave is telling you. It's showing it's a vigorous battle going on. So when you see that kind of movement, it's telling you to stay out.
So do we get that?
So to know this high wave bar, the upper shadow will be very long. The lower shadow will also be very, very long. Example of what we have right here is a doji. It's not a high wave bar. So let's find it out. This is a doji, or this one as well is a doji. But let's quickly make a drawing so that we can easily know, have an idea when we see it in the market. Because we are trying to locate it now, we can't. So let me make this. Can we all see this drawing I'm making? Now?
Yes, yes.
Now let's say we have this candlestick like this. Now you can see this candlestick. The upper shadow and the lower shadow is too long than the normal doji. Now the normal doji should be around something like this. Okay, let me just use another one. The normal doji should be something like this. Let me press Shift here. So we have this. Now you can see that this bar here, you can easily see that it's different from this red one. Whereas this red one, it is too long. It's in excess. We are being told on doji to wait. Now let's see the high wave. The high wave is doing too much, so it means just leave that market. Do you know why? The reason is because if you are to make your entry based on this bar, where you need to put your stop loss is below here. So if you are putting your stop loss here, your stop loss is too wide. It's too wide. So that is one of the reasons.
So that's one of the major example of an high wave candlestick, and this signifies that once we are able to locate this particular candlestick on the chart, it's telling us to avoid the market for now and wait patiently for a better candlestick pattern to enter a trade. So the next,
So are we done spanning top? Okay, let's go to another spanning top. Now, a time will come whereby you will see another candlestick that will not be as longer like this. It may be around this zone like this. Maybe around this zone like this. And now I want you guys to notice what we have. You can see that on this bar, this bar here is different from here. In the last class I told you this is a bearish candlestick, right? Now this candlestick opened at this level. It opened at this level and closes at this level. This is the open, this is the close. You can see that. So the difference between the open and the close is the body. We've taught you body, highs, lows, upper shadow, lower shadow, close, open. We taught you. So whenever you can measure or you can take measurement of a body, it's a spanning candlestick. It can either form at the top at resistance. If it forms at resistance, it's a spanning top. And if it forms at the bottom, which is at support, you will say spiny bottom, or you call it spiny bottom. But if the upper shadow and the lower shadow is too long, what will it be called? I want someone to give me an answer in the class. If the upper shadow of a spiny top or bottom is too long than usual, what will it be called?
Doji.
I want answers. I want answers. If this high is too long and this low is too long down, what will it be called?
Become doji.
Doji.
Are we
Doji,
really-
sir.
Eh?
Doji, sir.
I explained this in this class. We are not saying doji. It means we don't even understand the concept we are teaching right here. It means we are not following the tutor. And everything I taught you on Monday, you didn't even follow anything. If you call this a doji, I told you this is the open, this is the close, and I said if this bar here is too long than usual, what will it be called? If it's too long and at the bottom it is too long, I told you it's a high wave bar. High wave bar. And I said if the upper wick is not too long, if it's at the normal range, you call it spiny candlestick. Do you understand, or should we repeat?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Understand,
sir. Yes, sir.
So if you are calling this candlestick a doji, it means you are not yet following us, because we told you that a doji will not have a difference between the open and the close. The open and the close will be at the same level. You can see right here, the open of this candlestick and its close are not at the same level. But on this level here, on this one here, the open and the close are the same level. How many of you have purchased your candlestick manual? Please, after the class, place your order so that you can have the manual and study it well. Okay, let's go on.
So that's the slight difference between a doji, an high wave candlestick, and a spinning candlestick bottom. We all get that. Or is there a question? Now let's try and identify all the candlestick we talked about on the charts again, so as we can be able to see it, to understand or know it once we spot it on our chart. Now let's go far back to a gravestone. Let's look for a gravestone candlestick. I give an example right here. Let me try and quickly look for a gravestone, because I want you all to be able to identify this on your chart. Even after this class, you can go to your chart and try and identify all these candlesticks we've talked about in the class, because the more you identify them, the more they stick to your brain. Once you see them, you'll be able to say, okay, this is a gravestone, this is a dragonfly, this is a bullish paper.
Please, sir.
Okay.
Please, sir, I have a question, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Please, concerning this spinning candlestick.
Yes.
Please, can we see the spinning in different colors?
A candle representation for it.
Yes, like can we see it in various colors?
Let me try and check. I'm checking my chart currently. Let me try and. Okay, this is it here. This is the first one here. Let me mark it for you. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Can you see it is obvious that it is different from. Let me just highlight it with this. Can you now see it?
Yes, sir.
You can see it is quite different from a doji. Why is it different from a doji? And it is even obvious because it has some body in it, some obvious body. If you look at this candlestick now, you can see like there are some obvious body on it. Likewise, if this was a doji, you won't even see a body candle in the candle formation. Did you get that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is an example of a spinning candlestick bottom. So what happened afterwards? The next candle will always give us the determination of what will happen next. We can't make this as a full decision to enter a market. So what was the next candle telling us? This is a bullish engulfing. So it shows that the following candle engulfs the previous one. So now this price action here, this candlestick pattern here now, it now gives us a confidence, a confirmation that, okay, now we can enter this trade with this bullish engulfing. We could have entered So people will have entered with this spinning candlestick bottom if they don't have an idea of what it is. So this is why it is very, very essential. It is important to understand your candlestick patterns. Now that you understand that spinning candlestick bottom is mostly of like indecision, we have to wait for the next candle. This next candle can do two different things. Instead of a bullish engulfing, it might even give a bearish engulfing. That's what an indecision is, because we are waiting for the next candle to determine the fate of the previous candlestick. Do you get that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is an example of a spinning candlestick bottom.
Is that clear?
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's move on to the next candlestick, which are Marubozu candlestick. After we are done with one candlestick pattern, then next week we now move on to the two candlestick patterns. So next week we discuss about engulfing bars, the Aramis, right? The inside bars, the outside bars. So let's discuss Marubozu. Marubozu are candlestick which is not presenting to us wicks at the top or at the bottom. Even though if they will present to us wicks, the wicks will be very small. You have to zoom in so big on your chart, or you get closer to your chart before you can easily see the wicks. So in a situation whereby you have to do that, you can call it a Marubozu bar. So Marubozu means there's a strong buying or selling in the market. So if it is a strong buying, it will be a bullish Marubozu. If it is a strong selling, it will be a bearish Marubozu. Now, let's make some identification here. You can see this candlestick here now. Only the green one, will forget the red one. Only the green one is a Marubozu bar. You can see after a close up, price retraces, it traces inside and continue. See this one again, it's a bullish Marubozu. It is showing us that there's a lot of buyers in that market. So we also have the opposite, bearish Marubozu. So let's talk more about it.
So this is a pictorial example of the bullish Marubozu. Now let's look for the bearish Marubozu. You can see this is an example or illustration of what a bearish Marubozu looks like. You can see like the momentum on that candlestick. All the body of the candle is filled up. So that's why you have to have that in the back of your mind, that if you want to identify a bullish or a bearish Marubozu, the whole of the candlestick must be filled up. Just like how we made an example of the bullish Marubozu here. You can see how all the candle was filled up. It shows you here that there is a buy momentum. The buyers are buying the market aggressively with this from this candlestick, and we add like a pullback to this place, and the next candle we also add was also a Marubozu, bullish Marubozu. So it's signifying that the uptrend, the buys are still coming. Likewise, the bearish Marubozu we identify here. You can see this is a bearish Marubozu. What happened when this candle formed? It was obvious the market continue selling because of the momentum from the sell pressure of the momentum from the sellers that led to this candlestick formation, which gives us bearish Marubozu. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let's try and identify you can see this is also an example of a bearish Marubozu. You can see the momentum on the sellers. The sellers pushed the price down aggressively, which led to this candle formation, which indicates a bearish Marubozu. And what happened afterwards? We are seeing continuous sales in the market. And look at where we had a change of trend. It was literally at a key support zone. And we can also see we have a bullish Marubozu here that can signify like the buyers are gaining momentum, are beginning to gain momentum in the market. Can you now say how I could identify both the bearish and the bullish Marubozu? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will see, sir.
So this is, if you are seeing this kind of candlestick patterns on your chart, it's giving you, it's telling you, it's giving you an indication, it's giving you a further indication of what to apply on the particular zone or levels you are anticipating your buy and your sell. If I go on to bring in more further examples, we will keep going on and seeing the places the market is trying to indicate to us that the buyers or sellers are buying or selling aggressively during a particular candlestick formation. So any questions so far?
Do we have question?
Do you have any question on bullish and bearish Marubozu?
The class has stopped. No, it has stopped.
No question, sir.
Okay, no question.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, after a link has been, our class is almost going to an end. We have like 12 minutes more. So we've sent to you a copy of the PDF file. I'm a candlestick PDF file in your group. So after the class, download it and then study what we've discussed. We have all the candlestick pattern there, so that by the time we get to the next class, it will be easy for us to move on. So it will be easy to understand. All right?
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So do we have question? Download your file though. Once your program has expired, you can later ask us to send you the file though. So go to the group now and download your copy of the PDF file. If you want the hard copy, you can chat us to send it. We will bill it to you. Okay?
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So any question before the class ends? You can ask questions, even if it's to identify any candlestick, the candlestick we've talked about. Maybe you are having issue of identify any. I can still identify for you before the class ends in some minutes. Okay, you want to ask question? I can't hear you.
I'm trying to identify a candlestick on the chart, but I've seen it.
Okay, which one?
The what's it called? The highway, or
Okay,
is it not highway?
the
Yes,
I
yes,
wave. Okay, I think
yeah,
let me.
highway,
The
yes,
I wave, like we said, is when there is a big volume in markets.
yes. I saw one.
On which chart do you
Some
see it?
this the one you showed now.
Okay, the one I
I
showed.
don't know. If it's the one. Yes, this one is it not highway?
Which one?
Ah,
On the gold chart.
yes, yes. This you see, this your line. This your
Okay,
set.
this line.
This your line. Yes, the top at the top here, where the is it pin bar or what? Pin bar beside the pin bar or hammer
Okay,
hammer pin
this
bar
one,
from the left hand.
this one, or this.
Which one? No, no, no. Here, this side at the end here, at the end of the line here.
Okay, here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
This, have you seen it?
yes. So this will also serve. This will still serve as a spinning candlestick bottom, because we told you the I wave, it will be obvious, the wicks will be long, and if you can see this particular one, the wicks is still shorter. You can see it's not as
This
long.
one, what? You see this hammer?
Okay,
Yeah, your cushion here. No, no. Yes, yes. We are going up.
okay, up.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You,
Yeah,
no, the other side.
yeah.
Where the bearish hammer is. No, no. Where this small bearish volume. Yeah,
This is the bearish engulfing we have here.
beside it. Yeah.
This is bearish engulfing. This bearish engulfing.
Oh, okay.
You can see this is an example of a doji. You can see, I've seen a doji, a perfect example of a doji. Can you all see it? Please, can
Yes,
you all
sir.
see it? Can you all see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is an, you can see, compared to the candle that follows that, compared to the candle next to the doji, you can see there's no how we can confirm anything with this market. What is just trying to tell us is both the buyers and the sellers we are not able to take control of this particular candlestick. So which will make us to wait for the next one. And if you look at the next one as well, for me this is more of like a spinning candlestick at the upper spinning candlestick. You can see the next one that happened was an obvious bearish engulfing. It engulfed this particular candle. It engulfs it. And what does this signify? It signifies that the sellers are now in control. Did you get that?
Yes, sir. Okay.
So does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's it for all the candlestick we've talked about. We've talked about the gravestone, the dragonfly, the bullish pin bar, the bearish pin bar, the spinning candlestick, and the I wave. I believe we all
Wait,
understand all these candlesticks.
please, I have a question.
Okay.
Please, I want on your chart. I want help us identify a high wave candlestick.
Okay, the I wave candlestick is mostly rare on the chart because it is when a big volume enters the market. But I will try, let me see, before the close of this class, I will try to see if I can see it on the charts. Because once you see it, it will be obvious. it will be obvious. It will be a very long candlestick with some shadows at the top, longer shadows at the top, and longer shadows at the bottom with a tiny body at the middle. Just like how our drawing went. I think we still have the drawings here. You can see this is it here. So because we are not able to identify it, that's why we had to draw it on the chart for you. Okay, but just let me use this. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we
Yes.
can see it.
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to draw you an obvious I wave. You can see how long it is. This is mostly how it looks like. Once you spot it on the chart, it will be obvious. You can see what I drew here. We can't really identify it on the chart we'll be looking on the candlesticks we'll be looking for, because it happens on a major news day. Maybe there's a high news day on that particular day. So the volatility of the market as at that present time is very, very high. So that's what mostly form this kind of candlestick patterns. Did you understand?
Yes, yes.
So the chart of GBP yen.
Okay.
Day chart. GBP yen day chart.
GPP. Okay.
Are we still in the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now day chart. Yes. See this bar.
It's obvious.
You can see it
It's
now.
obvious.
Can you see that bar?
Yes.
You see it. Now this one now is occurring at the top. You can see that. So that's an example.
So this is like a perfect, and if you compare this to what I drew on the previous chart I did, you can see there's no difference. It has a long wick at the top. It also has a wick at the bottom too. You can see it is obvious. So you have to, after this class, just try and study the candlestick patterns and try and understand them, because these are what you use to interpret what the market is saying. Candlestick patterns is like the foundation of what you want to learn and understand. If you don't understand this, there's no how we can advance to the next stage. And also, we also have the candlestick pattern charts book guide. We have it.
September. Are we still in the class? Are we still in the class?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, let's see another one. September 2020. Okay. Now, see this. See this good example here. You can see another one here. You can see it. You can see how long it is.
How long it is. And it happened at the bottom. So these are another perfect illustration or example of an I wave. You can see of an I wave. So please try and study your candlestick charts. It's very, very important. You have to understand. You have to differentiate. You have to know what this different candlestick is talking about. What does this signify? If I see a gravestone, what is it telling me? If I see a dragonfly, what is it telling me? If I see a bearish pin bar, what does that indicate? So you have to know and incorporate all these things into your trading journey. class has ended too. So that's wrote it down. Yeah, automatically.
That's ended.
Yeah, it has ended automatically since. I
So
think
go
it's
down.